Assalamu alaikum guys. We just went to a supermarket because we wanted to stock up on a few extra things just in case, you know. And while we were there, it was a bit hectic getting in because they were putting hygiene on everyone's hands, and there was just a little bit too many people in one space, you know, and I got a bit panicky because I don't like to be around lots of people in one space. But it was fine, and we were doing our shopping, we were just getting casually a few extra things. And then while we were in there, the king declared that we'll have emergency law now, which means it means that you can't have gatherings of more than 10 people. It means that newspapers can't be printed, like you can't have paper, like paper being distributed, because you might like spread the diseases through touching if it's like shared, obviously. What else? Transportation can't go between cities. And can't go to hospitals and doctors and things unless you've got a specific reason or if it's an emergency. This comes in effect today, and it will be for the next 2 weeks. And we were in the supermarket while it happened, while it was declared, and things got really hectic really quickly. The meat counter was insane. It was really crazy. Usually in Jordan, even on busy days, supermarkets don't tend to be very busy. I think because there are just so many of them, or at least in Amman because there are so many of them. I've never seen that many people in a supermarket before, even at Christmas or Eid or Ramadan. And yeah, it seems like everyone's just been let out of work or something because the traffic was fine going in. There was like basically no one in the streets. Now it's crazy. So in today's video, I'm gonna do like a little update of what's going on here in Jordan with Corona. Look at this. Farangi. That taxi's in my way. Look, people are queuing outside. Holy moly. And we were planning on going to the bakery next. We're stuck in traffic and we keep getting news updates, so I'm just going to tell you what is being told right now. The army issued a statement to say that we are going to enforce the government's procedures however we need to. And the banks have been declared bank holiday, like a holiday for the banks. Currently there are 35 cases and 1 nurse from Al Bashir hospital has been infected. Everyone in the country will get their incomes by today or tomorrow. We bumped into someone we knew on the road, as you do. So the king has said that he wants to impose emergency law because he cares about his citizens, basically, is what he said. So like I said, income has been given early, everything is shutting, and people need to stay home to protect them and to protect the spread. But alhamdulillah, people in the supermarket, there was a lot of people, yeah, but people weren't fighting each other, and they weren't, you know, I didn't see any bulk buying like you've seen in the, like in the West. There wasn't any bulk buying. People weren't buying unreasonable things. They were just stocking up a bit. So yeah, that's the story. Oh, watch out. Husband's just gone into the bakery to get some bread. We came somewhere a bit further out where we thought that there would be less people, and everyone else had that idea as well. So I will give you a bit of an update now, seeing as I'm waiting in the car. I was a bit too scared to go in, to be honest, just because there's just too many people. So what happened was, a couple of days ago, the schools were all closed and the universities were all closed, and there were rumours that they were going to do some kind of emergency law or some kind of special emergency situation precautions. And so yeah, as well, they announced that they were going to cancel all the flights to and from Jordan, and they were saying that they were expecting 15,000 Jordanians to come back before the airports were closed, which happened today or yesterday, happened sometime recently. Basically they were saying that anyone who enters that is coming from like specific countries were going to be quarantined. Those people are being quarantined in hotels at the Dead Sea. They take them straight in buses from, they were taking them straight in buses from the airport. Should I turn that noise off? Okay, So they were taking them straight from the airport to the Dead Sea and then quarantining them in the hotels, which happen to be really fancy hotels. Like the images that we keep seeing is all the army blockading or like standing outside of the Hilton hotel, where like there are loads of people being quarantined, and for sure they're not having a fancy spa time there. But there are worse places that you could be quarantined, and I've heard of, you know, in other countries they're quarantining people in tents and things. The funny thing about it is that they keep talking on the news about how people keep complaining about the conditions or the way that they're being treated and things. Jordan really doesn't have the economy to deal with this situation, and the effects that this is going to have, long-term effects, is going to be absolutely catastrophic. So I think the fact that people aren't being like put in tents, or the fact that they were even allowed to come back to the country, really says something about how much the kingdom, how much the government is trying to put people, you know, their immediate comfort and safety as priority. And the fact that they've made such a big decision. It's not an easy decision to you know, disrupt life like this, and in other countries they haven't made decisions like this, and they've got a lot higher cases. But I feel like it really says something about Jordan's sense of society. And, you know, yeah, we keep saying like, oh, it only affects the elderly and things like that, but you know, we still want to keep our elderly alive, and we want to protect everybody, and we don't know that, you know, we don't know what could happen with this virus and how it could change and things. So I feel like this is a sensible thing to be doing, and I'm very happy that they've done this, and I'm very happy that they haven't just said, okay, no going out and that's it, but they've also made allowances for certain things. So before they announced emergency law, and when they closed all the schools, they gave all women who have children or who have elderly people to care for, they gave them 10 days paid leave immediately. I mean, some people have told me that that's not being enforced everywhere, but I'm sure as hell it's being enforced now. My arm's going dead. So not only that, they've also, like, they were interviewing landlords and things, like individual landlords on the TV this morning, and they were saying about how they are not going to take rent from their tenants for the foreseeable future. And then today, just now, the banks have started announcing that they're not going to take mortgage loans or any loans this month, and everyone's going to be paid early as well. They're going to be paid right now. I don't know how well that kind of, I'm a bit worried about people going out panic buying. Just seeing the amount of people that are on the streets right now, it's really shocking. It seems like everyone's just come out of work and they're going shopping. So that feels a little bit like, makes me feel a little bit awkward. But they're definitely taking allowances, so they've lowered the VAT rates and things. So we're gonna see how they deal with this. But I feel like they're taking it really seriously, which I'm really happy about. If you don't know the whole story about how it all entered the country and things, I'm sure that like you can educate yourself with the news. I don't want to be spreading any like misinformation or anything, but what we know is that a little while ago a man came back from Italy with his friend, and he didn't get tested basically, and then a couple of weeks went by, or a week or two went by, and he decided to go and get tested just in case, because he saw the situation in Italy was kind of going south. So he went and got tested, and he tested positive. I believe that his colleague that he went with tested negative, and he was quarantined immediately. But panic came out because he had been working at City Mall for the duration. Like, he came back from holiday and he'd started working as usual at City Mall. People heard this like at Carrefour City Mall. It's the biggest supermarket, I assume the biggest supermarket in the whole country. It's the busiest one as well. It's massive, and everyone, like, it's huge. And everyone heard this and they panicked that, oh my god, this guy has been infecting everybody and all the staff, and we've been like buying our food and produce. And the speed at which people found this guy's Facebook profile and were sharing it was insane. like people, yeah, there was just like this panic when they saw on his Facebook profile City Mall and Carrefour. And then he actually came out and started doing, well, from quarantine, he started doing interviews with the news and things to like calm people down, and he did a really good job. And basically said like that he didn't work on the shop floor, that he worked in the management section, and that he had no contact with the shop floor at all. And obviously they oh, you can't buy bread for more than one JD, which is good, so that people aren't like hoarding, but we were going to get bread for the whole family, so that's a bit annoying. So where was I with the story? So they cleared out the shop, and they disinfected everything, and they tested everyone, and it was all negative, and it was completely contained. And we went from having one case to having no cases, you know, after he left quarantine and he was all better. Fast forward, we didn't have any corona here for a while, and then what was the first case? It was Italians, I think.
No.
There was a Jordanian that went to Italy. He came back from Italy and he brought it with him. And then then we started to have cases, and then there was a man and his daughter came to Jordan from Spain, and she had a wedding in Irbid, and they were both infected, and they both carried on as usual and kissed everybody and shook everybody's hands. So we said all it takes is one wedding, and then the whole country's infected. So then from there we've now got 35. That is my update, and I hope by the time I publish this video is going to be a lot more. So let's look at the time. It is 2:27. Is that clock right? It's 2:27. 2:30 on the 17th of March, and we're at 35. I don't think it's that healthy to count the numbers, but we obviously are, because everyone else is. So that's my update on Corona. I'm smiling, but if you can see, I'm bright red in the face because I'm panicking, okay? So like, don't misinterpret my smiling and laughing as casualness, because like, I don't actually feel very casual about it. But I'm also not panicking. No one's panicking. Don't panic. Wash your hands. Stay at home. Guys, even the weather is telling you to stay at home and to go home. Look at this.